Yo, what's going on, my buddies? TotalJophes coming at you with another Final Fantasy XV theory video about the other royal arms. Okay, so I know the first question you guys are probably asking. How can there be other royal arms? We collect all 13 of them throughout the game. There are 13 kings before Noctis, Noctis being the 14th king, and so there are 13 royal arms, and we collect all 13 royal arms. What the hell is missing, right? For instance, I'll start out by saying there is one royal arm missing. Where is this, you might be asking? We collect all 13, but we don't. We don't collect all 13 royal arms because think about it this way. The Trident of the Oracle is counted as one of the 13 royal arms. But the Trident of the Oracle, specifically also by the name saying Oracle, belonged to Luna. Now Luna isn't a Lucis king or queen, meaning her weapon by all intents and purposes shouldn't be counted as a royal arm, thus leaving us with only 12 royal arms. Meaning, we missed one, somewhere. For some reason or another, Noctis doesn't get the last royal arm. We don't know where it is, but considering there is one per king, and there have been 13 kings/queens, there should be 13 weapons, but Luna's doesn't count because that belongs to Luna, not a king. Meaning there's only 12, meaning there's one out there somewhere that we have not gathered. Now, that's not the only part of the theory. I'm not just saying there's only one royal arm still out there that Noctis hasn't gotten. I'm saying there's 14 royal arms that Noctis has not gathered. Now, how the hell am I making that big of a jump, you might be questioning? Well, again, let's go back to the Trident of the Oracle, okay? We know that this weapon doesn't belong to a king or queen of Lucis. I mean, the description specifically says, a strong noble woman was loved by the world. She granted succor to the star and brought man and God together. This was the trident of her line. It does not belong to Lucis, it belongs to Luna. So, by all intents and purposes, that shouldn't be counted as a royal arm, but it is counted as a royal arm. It's not one of the kings or queens, but Luna, the Oracle, is also counted as having a royal arm in the form of that trident. So let's take a gander at this for a minute. We've got the 13 royal arms plus Luna's trident, which gives us 14 royal arms in total, but we only get 13, meaning we missed one. But considering Luna's trident is counted as a royal arm, might we then make the assumption that any Oracle's weapon could be counted as a royal arm? I mean, there's nothing that says that we can't make that jump, and that's the only thing that I can think of that would make that weapon a royal arm. Because she's not a king or queen of Lucis, but she is an Oracle, so maybe that, in and of its own right, can give it the power of a royal arm, and have that go down in history as one of the royal arms, because she's an Oracle. Now, let's think about it this way. We know from the lore of Final Fantasy XV that oracles have been a thing since, say, Arden's time. Arden, more or less, was kind of the first oracle, okay? We also know that the oracle is sort of made to assist the king, the current king of Lucis, alright? So, by making that assumption, we can assume that Luna, obviously, is, the oracle to Noctis, but that each and every other king or queen of Lucis very well might have had an oracle in their time as well. So for instance, Luna is the current oracle with Noctis, but chances are there was an oracle before her, maybe her mother or something, and that oracle was alongside Regis, okay? Now, using that logic, the fact that we can assume that there was most likely an oracle for each king or queen of Lucis, that means there was 13 oracles, because there was 13 kings or queens before Noctis. Now, given the fact that there are 13 oracles, and an oracle's weapon seems to be able to be treated as a royal arm, We can then make the jump to say that maybe each of those oracles also had a royal arm. That maybe there's not just that one royal arm that Noctis is missing, but that there's also 13 other ones from each of the past oracles, making a grand total of 14 royal arms that Noctis doesn't have, but could get. Now, here's another thing that you might be thinking, that might disprove the theory that, it specifically says that Luna's trident is of her line, meaning maybe it was passed down. Maybe other oracles could have had that trident, and the reason why it's a royal arm is because it's a weapon passed down by all of the oracles. But the thing is, that's not how royal arms work. For instance, Noctis, during the game, gets Regis's sword, okay? That's treated as a royal arm. But each king or queen has a royal arm. For instance, that means if Noctis has a kid, and that kid gathers the royal arms, and he gets Regis's sword, that doesn't count as a royal arm from Noctis. That counts still as Regis's royal arm, thus leaving Noctis without a royal arms, meaning he needs to have a weapon of his own. Regardless of the fact that he has his father's sword, he still has a weapon of his own to pass down as a royal arm, which my guess would be the Engine Blade / Ultima Blade would be Noctis's royal arm. So taking that rule, that each king or queen has their own royal arm, regardless of whether or not they've got, their father's weapon or whatnot, we can then assume that by that rule, that there can only be one royal arm per king, that there can only be one royal arm per oracle as well, and that the trident is Luna's royal arm, that that's her weapon. But considering that rule, that there needs to be one royal arm per king, and that we're using that on the oracles, that there needs to be one royal arm per oracle, that means that each of the oracles would have also had a weapon that could be counted as a royal arm, in the same sense that Luna's trident is considered a royal arm. Meaning, 14 royal arms that Noctis doesn't have. One from the king that he's missing, because he only has 12 of the king's royal arms, and then one from each of the past 13 oracles. 14 royal arms Noctis does not have. Now, again, this is just a theory. Maybe those rules don't quite apply. Maybe the trident is, a royal arm because it's passed down through all the oracles or something, and it doesn't count that, even though there's a rule with the kings that appears to be that they can each have one of the royal arms, maybe the oracles are just exceptions from it, who knows. But that's my theory using the lore of what the games give us, or what the game, gives us, is all of that screams to me that we've got 14 other royal arms. The one thing I can confirm, though, that is not a theory, is that there is at least one royal arm we don't have, because each of the kings does have a royal arm, and since we got the trident for one of those 13, it means we only have 12. So at the very least, if you take nothing else from this, we are definitely missing one royal arm. But if you make a jump using the rules of the royal arms, we can possibly say that we have 14 royal arms that we don't have. Now, I'm not saying that this won't come in any sort of DLC or something. I doubt the creators actually went that far in depth with it. I doubt they've actually thought about the fact of, oh hey, we're kind of technically missing a royal arm, or oh hey, the oracle's weapon counts as a royal arm, what about the other oracles? It's probably not going to go, they're probably not going to actually acknowledge that, but it's an interesting theory, don't you think? That maybe there's 14 other royal arms laying somewhere around Eos that we haven't gathered that Noctis could gather. And I mean, shit, can you imagine Armiger with 27 royal arms? Shit, man, that'd be crazy. So, that is my theory. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that maybe it has some credibility to it? And what about this revelation that we are definitely missing one of the royal arms? What do you guys think about that? And do you think that maybe other oracles could have had royal arms? Do you think maybe this theory could actually work out? Or do you think this is a load of shit that the creators completely just didn't think about anything, completely forgot about adding another royal arm where they're missing one, and are just claiming that the trident is a royal arm anyway? That somehow that's, I don't know, also from a king or something. I don't know. But definitely leave all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Definitely leave a like on this video, and of course subscribe for more considering I'll be uploading multiple videos every week as usual. So that'd be about it. So until next time, stay pretty, my buddies.